In this video, I'll be showing you guys how to win more unlimited games in Season 4 of NBA 2K23 My Team, whether if you guys want to go for the Pink Diamond DeMar DeRozan, or whether you guys just want to go for maybe the unlimited boxes, the Hall of Fame badges, the tokens, the MT, whatever you guys are trying to grind for in Season 4. With Unlimited, I'll be showing you guys how to win more games and just get through Unlimited as fast as possible. Now, this is going to work in other seasons as well. It's not necessarily just for Season 4, just basically be showing you guys how to win more unlimited games in NBA 2K23 My Team. Now, for my win record, obviously it's not going to look the best here. If you guys don't know, this actually counts for error codes, and if you load into the game and people quit and you don't get the win, if you played Unlimited, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. It's going to give you the loss on this screen. If you guys don't believe me that I'm a decent player, you don't have to, but I was 107-7 in the first season of 2K23 in My Team Unlimited. I think I'm a pretty decent player and have an idea what I'm talking about, but if you don't want to believe me, you definitely don't have to. But the things I want to talk about in this video, guys, first off is going to be how to structure your team and what are the best possible teams to run, not necessarily what are the best players in the game, but just how to structure your team. And then I'll be going over all of the other stuff to help you guys win unlimited games, like defensive settings, offensive settings, freelance, how to play defense, how to score on offense, and just overall show you guys everything you need to know. So first thing, like I said, guys, is going to be how to structure your team, and this is actually really important that I feel like not that many people talk about or really worry about. I feel like a lot of people just use their best possible cards and then just go into a game without even worrying how to structure your lineup. So basically, the first thing I want to talk about is going to be the center position, because I feel like the center is honestly one of the most important positions in my team, because it's going to be the most versatile in the sense that you can run an inside big like Shaq if you want to. If you guys know from Season 3, the Galaxy Shaq, he can't shoot threes. Obviously, Shaquille O'Neal, he can't shoot three balls, only does have a 26 three ball. So for me, I don't personally like running inside bigs, and that's something you guys just got to know about yourself. Do you like running centers that can shoot, like a guy like D-Rob, Kristaps, Hakeem? Those guys can all stretch the floor really well. Or do you like running more inside centers, like a guy like Shaq? So for your starting center position and your backup, for me personally, I like to have centers that can stretch the floor. So guys like D-Rob and guys like Kristaps would be my two favorite centers in the game, but they also want to be at least 7 foot. You don't really want to be running guys like, DeMarcus Cousins or some smaller, even like a Ben Wallace. I don't think anyone's going to run Ben Wallace, but I would just try to have a taller center, a guy that's at least 7 foot that can shoot the three ball. That is pretty much that criteria I give for the center spot. Now for power forward, this really doesn't matter too much. I like to have a guy like a Bob Nedelecki, a Dolph Shays, a guy that can really shoot the three ball, or there's another option, guys like Bam, guys like AD, who are going to give you some really, really good defense. It just depends what you need at your power forward position, but the main positions that matter are going to be the center spot and then the 1 through 3. Now, the way you kind of want to structure this, in my opinion, on your starting lineup and on your bench, on each line, you want to have 2 guys that can handle the ball and score the ball at a very high level. If you can have 3 guys, that's obviously the best possible scenario, but you want to have 2 guys that can handle the ball and score the basketball at a very high level. And then you want to have 1 guy that's going to be either your lockdown defender or a guy you can just put on their best ball handler. So for example, on my starting lineup, my 2 offensive guys, at least main focus for offense, is going to be Tim Thomas, obviously one of the best offensive cards in the game, and then Donovan Mitchell as well. For me, I just like using Donovan Mitchell cards. I know everybody would say to run a Penny Hardaway, to run a Magic, to run a Lonzo. You can obviously do that as well. Just for me, I like running a guy like D-Mitch. Not saying he's the best point guard in the game, but for my play style and the way I play, I just like running, kind of shorter guards. That's why I have Donald and D-Mitch as my 2 point guards. Basically, you guys can see though, for my 1 through 3, I have 2 guys that can handle the ball and Terry Dishinger. So I actually have a 3rd guy who can be my 3rd scorer, which is Terry Dishinger, but he is actually going to be my lockdown defender. He's 6'7" at the shooting guard spot, and he does have some really good defensive stats and a really good player model in game. So he's going to be my lockdown defender. And then I got 2 offensive guys in Tim Thomas and Donovan Mitchell as well. If you guys look on the bench, it's going to be very similar, right? At my center position, I have a guy that can stretch the floor like Kareem. Obviously, he's not the best, 3-point shooting center, but if he needs to shoot threes, he can obviously do so. Kristaps would probably be my backup guy that I go to. If maybe I'm struggling with shooting threes, he can obviously be another really good center. But for my backup center, I'm going to go Kareem. And then next to him is going to be Anthony Davis. If I wanted to spend the MT, I could easily get a guy like Bob Nedelecki and then move Dolph Shays to my power forward spot, which I might do in the future. And then off my bench, I like having Donald and Luol Deng as my 2 scorers. And then even LeBron can, score the ball pretty well because it's LeBron. He's good at going to the rim and get some really good dunking animations, but he is going to be also my lockdown defender alongside a guy like Luol Deng. So make sure you guys aren't doing something like, this, for example. This is not terrible because you do have, 2 ball handlers in Terry Dishinger and Donovan Mitchell. I can try to show you guys an example of probably what I wouldn't do. I wouldn't do this, for example, and then have like Lonzo Ball at my starting point guard. Yes, we're gonna have really good defense and really good height, but we're not gonna really have that many, good we're not gonna have that many good ball handlers and people that can score the ball. If you like playing with really tall players that can't really, score the ball themselves, but you just score together, I mean, you can obviously do that as well. That's another different playstyle. But for me, I wouldn't really run this type of, 1 through 3 because Lonzo, Luol Deng, and LeBron are going to be good defenders, but they're not going to be the greatest on the offensive end. That's why, you could switch it up, right? Put Don Ole at the starting point guard spot and then put a guy like Tim Thomas and just kind of mix around your lineup. So now you have some more offense off the bench and you have some more defense, or sorry, you have more offense on the starting lineup and more defense on the bench. So yeah, guys, that's how to structure your lineup for Unlimited. It's not that complicated if you've been playing my team, but maybe you don't know about that. So just make sure you guys have 2 ball handlers, 1 lockdown defender, and then have your center to be able to shoot threes and at least be 7 foot tall. So now, guys, to talk about the defensive settings. Now, I do have a separate video going over what are the best defensive settings. So I'm just going to quickly run through it in this video, and then you guys, I'll leave a link in the description down below if you guys want to go after and watch it and go into and watch me go into depth of what are the best defensive settings and why I'm picking each one and explaining it. Then you can obviously check out that video. But just to quickly go over it, on ball pressure going to be smother, off ball pressure going to be tight, on ball screen going to be go over, on ball screen center going to be go over as well. For this one though, switch all is definitely another good meta that a lot of people are running in comp right now. So switch all is just another option. Like I said, I explained in the other video, but I do run go over and go over as well. For your hedge, I like running no hedge for the hedge and no hedge for the center as well. Stay attached on yes. You guys want to make sure you have that on yes. And then for your drive help rules and your screen help rules, both of these want to be on no help, and then scroll all the way down to the bottom and have transition defense on no threes. And then a kind of bonus one can be the cutter help rules. You want that to be on no help as well. So those are going to be my best defensive settings. These are really going to help you guys out in Unlimited. Obviously, you guys can tweak them for your liking. And like I said, if you go watch the other video, I go kind of more in depth and give you guys some other ones you guys can run that are still really good. But in my opinion and in my preference and what I like to run, these are going to be my best defensive settings. And I do believe these will help you guys on the defensive end a lot, because I don't think people don't realize how much defensive settings do help you guys. And then the best playbook is going to be the Bucks. It doesn't really matter as long as you guys have the Bucks 2018 freelance, which we'll go talk about right now in a domination game, and just show you guys how to set up a freelance and a 5-out as well, because 5-out can actually be super effective. But just quickly go over what's the best freelance in the game and how to set it up. So what you guys want to do is go over to your settings in game, and you want to go to your offensive settings. You want to scroll down to the freelance and you want to click on the Bucks 2018. It's easily the best freelance in the game, because if you guys notice in my team right now, the spacing is absolutely atrocious. So you want to make sure you guys have that Bucks 2018 freelance on so your players can space out a little bit, and it can definitely help you guys score the ball on the offensive end. I'll quickly show you guys how to set it up and then show you guys quickly how to run a 5-out as well, because 5-out, like I said, can be very effective, and all you want to do is have that Bucks 2018 freelance, and obviously that's how you guys want to set it up. So first thing, let me just go in the tip and then show you guys how to set up the freelance. So if you guys see the 4 arrows on your controller, you want to click right on the D-pad, that's what I call it, and then you guys can see in the bottom or the top right of your screen, kind of, it's going to be RB for freelance, right? I click on freelance and then click on Bucks 2018, and now you guys can see our spacing is going to be a lot better, kind of in this 5-out scenario. Now to run a 5-out, you want to click pass the screen away, and now you guys can see I'm in the 5-out setting. I can get to the basket with ease. I'll just show you guys one more time on the offensive end, but basically once you set up your freelance, you only have to do that once, and then you never have to touch that again. You guys can just set it once at the start of the game, and now you never have to set up your freelance once again. But to call a 5-out, you do have to you do kind of have to do the move, not move, but you do have to kind of set it up every single time if you do want to run a 5-out. So after you guys have set up the freelance, what you guys now want to do is click left on the D-pad, the left arrow, and you guys can see LB is going to be pass and screen away. You want to click LB, and now you guys can see I'm going to be in the 5-out setting. I can kick to the corner, whatever I want to do in the 5-out. It's just going to give me some really good spacing. So that's the best freelance to run and how to run the 5-out as well. I'm kind of going quickly through all this stuff. So if you guys have any questions, just let me know in the comment section down below. And I probably have videos on everything I'm talking about as well, specifically going in more in depth. Just want to put them all into one video and show you guys what to do. So I mean, that's pretty much it. Before we hop into an unlimited game here, I'll show you guys what to do defensively and how to score the ball. The first thing is going to be, set up your team. Make sure you guys have a really good team structure, and then go to your obviously defensive settings. And if you guys set them up like this before the game, they'll automatically save. So in the game, you don't actually have to go change them. So like I said, use these defensive settings. You can tweak them a little bit, but use these kind of general guide to kind of, help you guys out on the defensive end with your defensive settings. And then make sure you guys turn on the Bucks 2018 freelance, and that's how you guys 5-out as well. So now we're going to hop into unlimited game, and I'll be showing you guys how to score the ball, what I do on the offensive end, and then what I do on defense as well. So into the unlimited game here, the first thing you guys want to do is pause the game, and you want to go over to your offensive settings, and like I said, you want to scroll down to the bottom, and you want to click on the Bucks 2018 freelance. Just make sure you guys set that up before the unlimited game, so you don't forget, midway through the game. So my opponent's team has got John Wall, Jay Rich, Paul George, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Josh Smith as well. So not the greatest team. I'm not versing like a Yao Ming or a Tim Thomas or all of these amazing players, but still has a very capable team. And if you knows what he's doing, he can definitely be a very good player. And you guys can see he's played a lot of unlimited in season 4 already, being 31 and 18. So what you guys want to do is when you guys get the ball on the offensive end, like I said, set up your freelance as he's going to foul us right away, but I can set up my freelance. He's going to go into a timeout. He's doing his defensive settings. He's probably going to try to sweat me, do every single little thing he can do to win. But like I said, first thing you guys want to do is just make sure you guys set up your freelance. Now, after you guys have set up your freelance, what I like to do on the offensive end, now this definitely comes down to preference of what type of offense you guys like to run. For me personally, I really like running the pick and roll and either, diving to the basket, going all the way for the dunks, or obviously finding my center on the pick and pop. There's a bunch of different, ways you guys can score on the offensive end, calling a slip right there. I called a slip, and we're going to find D-Rob down low. If you guys are wondering how to call a slip, when you're in the pick and roll and the person's coming to set you the screen, you want to tap LB on Xbox or tap L1, I think it is, on PS, and that will obviously send him on a slip. And you guys can see right there, that's how he's able to score the ball. For the defensive side of things, I know it is off-ball defense, but that's probably the best way to play this year, is you just want to not necessarily just sit on your center, but you want to be clicking on and off your center, and also running in transition is going to be a great way to score on the offensive end. But like I was saying, for defense, what I personally like to do is, yes, I will switch on to kind of play some on-ball defense. I'll kind of help here, right? Watch that pass inside with Tim Thomas, and sometimes I'll send a little bit of a double team and try to swing around the key, right? Donovan Mitchell gonna go for the steal. That was just me manually stealing or manually baiting, and then we're gonna run in transition and get that dunk to go. So you guys want to make sure you're running in transition on the offensive end. That's gonna be a great way to score. But defensively, I just like to throw a lot of different looks at my opponent. I don't want him just having the ball at the top of the key without seeing like at least another defender. So a lot of times I'll be setting double teams and then swinging around the court, right? Right now I'm forcing him to take some bad shots. Right now we're playing some great defense. He's gonna have that switch on side, so I'm gonna hold down A to try to A switch and then look to play some good defense. He's gonna have a wide open shot Lonzo, but he's gonna miss that because we actually got a 9% covered, and we're kind of forcing him to take some bad shots. Let me slow it down on the offensive end just to show you guys my offense once again. So once again, I'll just be running a lot of pick and roll, trying to go around that screen, look to find Tim Thomas at the top of the key. I'll look to run for my normal fade too, because I like shooting the normal fades on next gen. Unable to get that to go, but that's a pretty good shot with Tim Thomas. I should be able to green that. Obviously I haven't been playing that much unlimited in season 4, but we are able to get this steal. And like I said, I'm gonna slow it down in unlimited just to show you guys a little bit more what to do. So what I like to do is get to the rim, start off the game by getting a lot of dunks. That's what I personally like to do, because what it's going to force is your opponent is now going to play off you a lot on the defensive end. He's going to be watching for the drive. So what I try to do in unlimited games, this is honestly a secret that I haven't really told anybody, at least what I do. I don't think it really matters that much, but what I try to do is I like to start off the game by trying to get a lot of dunks, getting to the basket, and look to work on the inside, because then my opponent's going to be so worried about the drive that now the pick and pop is going to work. And the pick and pop is going to be wide open. Maybe sometimes he'll drop from the corner. That's another great way to score, to get a lot of threes. So what I like to do at the start of unlimited games is, like I said, after I start my freelance, I like to run a lot of pick and rolls. But in the pick and roll, I try to get to the basket every single time, just to kind of start, getting to the rim. Now he's so worried. Well, this guy's just going to keep running to the rim and get dunk after dunk. So now I got to, figure out what to do. Do I drop from the corner? Do I help with my center? Do I help with another player? That's what you guys want to be doing, in my opinion, is at least getting to the rim and, just showing your opponent that you can score pretty much every single time, at least going to the basket. I might also show you guys some dribble moves after this game of what to do, but dribbling really isn't that good this year. There's really not much you can do dribbling wise. But honestly guys, on offense, all I do is run pick and roll. I mean, it might be pretty obvious and it might be pretty simple, but legit every single time I'm calling a screen from my center or my power forward, or maybe I'm running a 2-man pick and roll because I notice my opponent's backcourt really isn't best. But on the defensive end, guys, I like to send a lot of double teams. You guys can see right there, he is going to throw that ball out of bounds. I know double teaming isn't the best if you don't know what you're doing, but if you guys can learn how to double team, it is honestly one of the best ways to play defense in the game. If you guys don't know how to send a double team, you just want to hold down LB or L1 on Xbox on defense, and then it will call for a double team. We're just going to try to attack the paint. That was not a good take, but whatever. We're going to foul him in transition, and he's going to go get one free throw line. So obviously I can't give you guys a full in-depth breakdown because I'm trying to play a limited game while obviously talking. But on the offensive end, guys, just make sure you're running a lot of pick and rolls, and at the start of the game, make sure to look to get to the rim with your point guard. And that's why I like having, faster point guards, guys that can get to the rim with ease, guys like Don Ole and guys like Donovan Mitchell. And then on the defensive end, you just want to play help defense with your center. You're right, I probably shouldn't have jumped there. He's going to get the layup to go. But what you want to do on the defensive end is make sure that you guys are sending double teams. Make sure that you guys are forcing him to make a bad pass and make a bad read. And like I said, on the offensive end, just get to the rim and get your dunks to go. He's eventually going to have to switch something up and guard your pick and roll. If he's not going to guard your pick and roll and let you get to the rim every time, then you can obviously keep attacking the basket. But like I said, on the defensive end, I won't send trying to double team this possession and just show you guys what I do. I mean, sometimes I do like to switch here. Got to watch that pass corner. We're just going to rotate around. I mean, that's the way I like to play defense, as we're just going to force up a bad shot. He wasn't prepared to shoot that, and now we are looking to push that ball in transition. I'm not going to explain this too much, right? Like, I'm not going to, sit in this full unlimited game, but on offense, guys, I mean, just get to the basket. Take your twos. I know everybody wants to chuck threes. Everybody wants to chuck up, 30, 40 threes a game, but you just got to, be patient and make sure to be taking your twos. But yeah, guys, I don't really want to show you guys too much in unlimited. I think you guys kind of get the point of what I want to do on offense and what I want to do on defense as well. If you guys have any questions of anything I explained in the unlimited game, I do apologize if I'm kind of trying to rush, and not rush, but I'm just trying to explain it, but also not keep you guys here for like 30 minutes. So that's just kind of my quick tips and tricks in unlimited, actually playing the game, just to kind of reiterate it and go over what you guys want to do. So on the offensive end, just to kind of explain it, because it might be a little bit easier than in the game. So what you guys want to do when you first get in the game, turn your freelance on and set it up in the ball game. Now, what you want to do is call a bunch of screens. It's easily going to be the best way to score this year, right? You want to learn how to score in the pick and roll, whether you're sending them on a slip, whether you're rolling to the basket, whether you're hitting them on the pick and pop, or whether you're driving to the rim and getting your dunk, right? There's a bunch of different things you guys can do, or just coming around the screen and shooting with your point guard. There's a bunch of different things you guys can be doing in unlimited. For me, at the start of the game, I like to get to the rim, whether I'm setting a rim, whether I'm driving to the basket with my point guard, whether I'm hitting my center on the roll, whether I'm sending him on a slip. Just make sure I'm getting to the rim, getting my dunks, and then forcing my opponent to have to adjust and, either help down on defense, whether it's with his center and then he's going to leave the pick and pop open with my center, right? Like, he might on ball the center, drop down, and then now I'm going to have a lot of pick and pops, or he might help from the corner, and then we're going to have an easy kick out. So it's a bunch of different things you guys can do on the offensive end, but just make sure you guys are prioritizing. I don't know if I said that right, but make sure you guys are prioritizing the pick and roll, and make sure you guys are getting to the rim. And then on the defensive end, I like to send a lot of double teams. That's just the way I play my team this year. But honestly, just make sure you guys are off balling with your center and your power forward, and you're not just sitting on your center. If you just sit on your center the whole time and expect you to play good defense, that is just not going to work. You guys have to make sure you're clicking on and off the on-ball defender, the off-ball defender, maybe send a little double team, maybe throw a little swing from the corner. Just make sure you guys are switching all around the players, trying to help. So maybe he drives maybe he drives baseline, maybe you can help down with your wing defender, right? And then swing with the guy at the top of the key. There's a bunch of different things you guys can do on the defensive side of things, but that's honestly, guys, how I do win unlimited games, and those are my best possible tips. Like I said, if you guys have any questions, or if anything was a little bit confusing, just let me know. I'm happy to answer, and I'll give you guys like a full in-depth comment, and just let me know any questions you guys have about anything that I explained in this video. But hopefully this video did help you guys out. If it did, make sure to drop a like and sub down below. I really hope it did help you guys out. Maybe it wasn't the best explanation in unlimited. It is hard to, give you guys an explanation while trying to play unlimited, but hopefully I did a pretty good job and it helped you guys out, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.